Hello everyone, this is Swapna from the channel The Tech Outlook. In today's video, I will show an implementation of different constraints that can be applied on the table. Before going in detail, I will request to those who haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe it and click on this bell to get notification of new videos. Thank you so much. So in my last videos, I have explained about the different constraints that can be applied on the table. And I have shown practical implementation of primary key, unique key and default constraint also. In today's video, I will be talking about all the constraints that can be applied on the table and I will show the practical implementation in MySQL. So we have primary key constraint. We all know that what is primary key. It identifies records uniquely. Composite key or composite primary key. If more than one attribute acts as a primary key, then we can call it as a composite primary key. Then foreign key constraint. If we refer primary key of one table into another table, then in the another table that key will act as a foreign key constraint. Then unique key, we can apply unique key constraint on a particular attribute so that all records will be identified uniquely. Default constraint, we can initialize default value while creating the table itself. Check constraint, we can give the range while inserting the records by using check constraint. Null constraint, we can have null value for a particular attribute, and not null constraint, we can declare not null constraint to the particular attribute so that the value for that attribute cannot be null. So these are the different constraints. So now here in MySQL database, I will be showing you the practical implementation and I will show how this constraint can be applied on the table. So here already I have created one table department which has two attributes did and dname. Did acting as a primary key in the department table, and I have inserted record in the department table also, did dname, and I have inserted 4 records. Why I have created this table? Because we have to refer this did as a foreign key in the another table. So I will show you how to create table student with different constraints. So role is my attribute and I am applying primary key constraint for the role. Then student name, its data type, and it is acting as a unique key. So there is no need to mention keyword, only we can define unique. Then email, its data type, and then not null constraint. We are applying on the email attribute. Then S address, student address, its data type, and then again we can have unique key constraint. One table can have unique key, multiple unique key constraint, but only one primary key constraint. We can have multiple unique key constraint, we can have multiple not null constraint, we can have multiple null constraint, but we will have only one primary key constraint while creating the table. So primary key constraint, unique key constraint, not null constraint, then class default constraint, its value by default is suppose second year SE, and then phone number integer, and it can be null, or it is null. Okay, and then after that we are using foreign key constraint syntax. So what is the syntax? Did, we are referring did of the department table in the student table, and then when we refer did in the student table, that did will act as a foreign key. So what is the syntax? Did, its data type, foreign key into bracket, did, references, which table we are referring? Department, and then name of the attribute. So here our table is created, student table is created. If we want to see the structure of the table, we can execute describe student, or DESC student ends with semicolon. So here you can see the structure of student table, in which role has primary key constraint. It is showing null because primary key cannot be null and it cannot be repeated. The values for primary keys cannot be repeated. S name acting as unique key, but it can be null. Unique key can be null, but whenever we have values, it should contain unique values. Then email, we have applied not null constraint. So it is showing no, it cannot be null, no. As address, unique key constraint. Again, unique key can be null but cannot be repeated. Class, it is giving the default value SE. Phone number, it is null, it is having null value. And DID, foreign key constraint, which we have referred from the department table. Now I will show you insertion part. Insert into student, into bracket, name of the attributes role, s name, then email, then s address, then class. There is no need to specify class because by default it is taking value SE. Then again phone number, it is null, so no need to specify it. And DID. So what are the values for this? Roll number 1, then I am taking ABC as a name, student name, email address a@gmail.com, then S address, and then DID. So we have to take the same value which is present in the department table. So either we can take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but we cannot take 5 because 5 is not present in the department table and we are referring the value of department table. So if I take 1, okay, email is taking 2 values. Okay, so when what I have done here, email varchar 10, and it is taking too much value, so we can execute alt table statement, alt table student, modify email and set its value more than 10. Okay, 20 suppose. So this is changed. So if I describe the student table, we can see that email address is changed. So if you will see here, varchar 10, now it is varchar 20. So it is 20. So if I try to insert the record for this, insert into student, role, address, student name, email address and DID. So now this value is inserted into table. Okay. So if I execute select star from student, here you can see roll number 1, S name ABC, email, then address Pune, class AC by default, phone number null and DID is 1. Okay, so likewise I can insert multiple records with the different values. If I say here I will take roll number 2 and if I insert the same values, it will fire an error because though we have inserted primary key 2, but ABC has, S name has unique key constraint that cannot be repeated, so it is giving an error. So I need to change it. If I take PQR, still it will give an error. Why? Because S address again acting as an unique key. So I need to change that address also. So here I will change it. Okay. So one row affected. See, Gmail is, email address is repeated. It is okay, but it cannot be null. It can be repeated, but it cannot be null. Right? So if I execute select star from student, you can see 1, 2, ABC, student name has unique key. So ABC is unique, PQR is unique, email address cannot be null, as address unique. By default, class is second year, phone number null and DID 1. We can refer any of the DID which is present in the department table. So likewise, I can insert various records to the student table and accordingly we can check whether that particular value for a particular attribute is inserted or not, how the constraints are violated if we insert the values which does not suit for that constraint. Right, I hope you must have understood all different constraints that can be applied on the table. Here I have shown you practical implementation of all the constraints, and I have created department table, I have created student table, and in the student table I have applied all these constraints. Thank you so much for watching my this video. Do subscribe my video those who haven't done it. Thank you so much.